Okay, so we'll get going. So tonight's class, Rocket Series. Rocket Series, I always say, is between level 1 to 3. So I'm going to give loads of different options. You know, you'll only realize how you feel on the mat after like the first 20 seconds, and you'll figure out what kind of options you want to take. So we're going to start today's class in a nice wide-legged child's pose. So let's just take a few breaths, settle into our mat, knees out to the side, toes together, and then reach the arms out in front. It can be as active or as passive as you want. So if you want to lift the elbows up, you can. If you want to let the elbows drop, be nice and soft, then go for it. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose to begin. And then big exhale out of the mouth. Take another one of those if you need. Exhale, sigh it out. Closing the eyes. From here on in, closing the mouth. So you want to try and breathe only in and out through the nose. They say that that brings in heat in our body. It keeps the heat in our body. And also see if you can try and activate your Samvriti breaths, your equal inhalations to equal exhalations. Notice if one might be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than the other. And this is going to be your breath through folds, through twists, through back bends, through arm balances. So it's always good to set a nice rhythm now before you begin. Nice and slowly tuck the toes, rise up, finding your first downward facing dog. Eyes in between the legs, start to pedal out the legs, one heel and then the other. Keeping a nice flat back, spread the fingertips nice and wide. Just breathe in here for 3. For 2. And for 1. Eyes to the top, slowly walking the feet all the way to the top of the mat, big toes together to touch. Flat on the back, take an inhale, eyes forward. Forward fold on your exhale, hands down. Reach the arms up to the sky, take an inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Surya Namaskar A to start. Inhale, reach the arms. Forward fold, exhale, hands down. Flat back, inhale. Chaturanga, step or jump back, eyes forward on your exhale. Lift the chest, upward facing dog, inhale. Flip the toes, downward facing dog, exhale. Find your pose, adjust your feet if you need, 3 breaths. So in each position, you want to find a lot of energy, a lot of power, your sthira, but also your sukham, which is your effortlessness, your softness, your ease. Letting the eyes go forward, step, walk, or jump the feet to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold belly to thighs, exhale. Sweep the arms up, option to back bend at the top, inhale. Forward fold, hands down, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Chaturanga, step or jump on your exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale, lovely. Set the eyes, set the feet, hold it there for 3 breaths. Letting the eyes go to the top of the mat, step, hop, or jump the feet forwards. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, maybe back bend at the top. Last round, forward fold. Exhale, a little bit quicker. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, step or jump. Exhale. Lift the chest, straighten the arms, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Option 1, you can hold it there. Option 2, walk the feet slightly further to the hands, starting with your bunny hops. So bend the legs, thighs to belly, heels to bum. Teeny tiny lifts and lowers, keeping the eyes in between the thumbs. You get a little bit of air time, then hold that pose, squeeze into the fingertips. For 2. Yes, nice. And she's back, Carla. For 1. Yes, down dog when you are ready. Reset, take a breath in. And a breath out, let it go. Eyes to the hands, step or jump forward. Lengthen, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Sweep the hands up to the sky, option to back bend, inhale. Hands to the center, exhale. Utkatasana, chair pose, bend the knees, arms up, breath in. Uttanasana, forward fold, breath out. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog, inhale, eyes to the sky. Down dog, exhale. Right leg lift on your inhale. Warrior 1, step it through, exhale. Sweep the arms high, inhale. Hands down, chaturanga, exhale. Lift, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Beautiful, left leg lift, inhale. Step it through, pivot the back foot, exhale. Sweep the arms high, inhale. Chaturanga, straight away, eyes forward, exhale. Lovely, lift the chest, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Option 1, you hold your down dog. Option 2, again, shimmy the feet just about a foot further forward. Lift the right leg into the sky. You can stay in your 3-legged down dog, or you can drop the head, come into your first headstand of the practice. Take the left foot away. Maybe you just come onto the tip of that left foot, the very edge of the big toe, or maybe you're rising all the way up. Allow the head to be rested. Finding that strength, that power, that energy. Also, a lot of rolls happen in Rocket. Don't ever worry. 1 more breath. Come down, downward facing dog. Lovely. Eyes to the top. Step or jump the feet forward. Lengthen, inhale. Fold belly down, exhale. Chair pose, bend the knees, arms up, inhale. Straight to round 2, hands down, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Chaturanga, step or jump, exhale. Lift the chest, inhale. Roll the toes, down dog, exhale. Right leg to the sky, inhale. Warrior 1, exhale. Sweep the arms high, inhale. It's either a handstand scissor kick or standing split on your exhale. Either switch or hold for an inhale. Chaturanga if you're not there already, exhale. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, down dog. Don't worry, there's always 2 chances. Left leg lifts, inhale. Warrior 1, exhale. Reach the arms, inhale. Standing split, drop the hands or find that little scissor kick on your handstand. Hold it there for a breath. Vinyasa it out. Moving through your up dog nice and slowly. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. You can hold it there. You can walk the feet in. Left leg lifts up, 3-legged dog. If you want to go headstand, drop the head. Support the head with the hands if you're interlacing the fingers. Come really lightly onto the tip of that right toe. So much so that you're stacking the hips one on top of the other. Maybe the foot comes slightly away from the floor. Yes, that's it. Nice, lovely, Rosie. Awesome, and release. Downward facing dog. When you are ready, reset, take a breath, let it go. And a breath out. Eyes to the top, step or jump the feet forward. Halfway lift to flatten the back. fold, exhale, hands down. Chair pose, bend the knees, reach the arms, and you're going to interlace the fingers. So push the palms towards the top corner of the room. And then eyes go forwards. If you want a little bit of an extra challenge, lift the heels off the floor. Come right up onto the balls of the feet. And we're going to hold it here for 3. Sorry, Rebecca, this is a hold of the legs. She's like, no hold of the legs. For 2. For 1. Either a forward fold or a crow pose. Drop the hands, knees, anywhere between elbows and armpits. And fly for 3 breaths. Play with crane if you feel comfortable with crow. Straighten out the arms. Eyes go forward for 2. Squeeze the toes together if you can for 1. Keep that energy, chaturanga, jump it back. Yes, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, hips high, eyes through the legs. Right leg lifts into the sky. Warrior 1, step it through. Reach the arms up, hold your warrior 1 here. Maybe you look to the thumbs, maybe hands come together. Breathe in here. For 2. For 1. Warrior 3, lean the head forward, aeroplane the arms and lift the back leg up off the mat. If you want, you can interlace fingers behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades in. Wherever you are, flex into the left foot so toes point down and gaze is down. Hold it there for 2. For 1. Release for your pyramid, hands on the waist. Straighten the leg, take a big breath in. And then exhale, forward fold over that front leg. Maybe you place the hands down, think belly to thigh, chest, nose, forehead forward. Nice, so soften the torso. Watch out if you feel like you're round in the back, keep it nice and straight. Lovely. So from here, keep the hands onto the floor, just lift the head. So you've got a nice flat back, eyes towards me. So option 1, you can come into a standing split. The fingertips will stay by the feet. We're going to play with those handstand scissor kicks. If that's the case, the hands go underneath the shoulders. Any amount of switch in the legs, even if it's one leg lifts a couple of inches, the other leg lowers. You're trying to get the hips over the shoulders. So your choice, your standing splits, or those nice controlled little switches. For 3. Yes, whichever leg is in the sky, that's the energy leg. Yes, Cheryl, beautiful. 1 more breath. Take a vinyasa on your next kick. Eyes forward, lovely. Moving through. Make your way downward facing dog. Drop the elbows, drop the forearms for dolphin. Eyes in between the legs. So option 1 to stay here. Option 2, walk the feet a couple of inches further forward. Right leg lift into the sky. You're just going to hold it there. See how high you can come onto the left toes. So this is a shoulder hold. See if you can come onto the edge of that big toe. You should be looking at that big toe. Push into the shoulders, 1 more breath. And release. Down dog, lift the elbows up. Take a couple of breaths to reset. Left side, left leg lifts into the sky, inhale. Warrior 1, step it through on your exhale, pivot that back foot, and then sweep the arms up. So we're going to do the same few poses on this side. Keeping the hips nice and square by right hip coming through. And breathe for 2. For 1. Warrior 3, airplane the arms, head goes forward, lift that back leg. So you can bend or straighten the left leg as much as you want. That can go as bent as that hamstring needs. Maybe you interlace the fingers, last couple of breaths, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then step it back to your pyramid, hands on the waist, take a big breath in. Keep the hips square, forward fold, breath out. Maybe hands down onto the floor if that feels a little nicer. And then forward fold over the front leg. So it doesn't need to be forehead down. Think Mexican wave with the belly. So belly, chest, chin, then nose. One after the other. And then option your standing split or your handstand scissor kicks, go straight into them. If the right leg is up in the scissor kick, that's the straight leg. Then you switch it in the sky, looking in between the thumbs for 2. Lovely. Yes, Erin, nice. For 1, this next one's a chaturanga. Rebecca, go for it. Yes, vinyasa, meeting downward dog, beautiful. So option to stay in your down dog or drop the elbows for dolphin. Walk the feet in, look in between the feet. Left leg is going to lift up. Left leg is straight, right leg can be bent. See how high you can come up onto the right toes. Find the very edge of that right big toe. Squeeze into that quad. Go on, Carla, you don't need those extra 2 toes. Yes, and release. Take a child's pose. Drop the knees. Place the hands in front, maybe inside the legs. And breathe in there. Nice. Extend the arms out. Downward facing dog when you are ready. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Eyes to the top, step or jump the feet forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Chair pose, reach the arms, take an inhale. Hands to center, exhale. Lovely. So we're going to come into our tripod headstand. If you want to go through a crow to a tripod, by all means. We're going to play with that kick back. So even if you don't feel that comfortable with tripods, start with the head and hands equilateral triangle. Take one knee onto the arm, anywhere between the knee and the armpits. Hold it there. Maybe you can go other knee up. You're really going to hold it here. If you feel good, when I'll cue, you're going to take it back as a chaturanga. So it's a jump back of the legs and a lift of the head. Those of you who go crow, headstand, crow, go for it. Yes, so hold that crow for a couple of breaths if you're in it. If you're in tripod headstand, you feel comfortable lifting the legs, by all means, lift for a couple of breaths. Nice, that's it, Rosie. Just take those hands a little further away from the head so you can see your fingertips. Yeah, that's about it. Head where it was before, perfect. If you're in headstand, come down, find your crow pose. Maybe you hold it just for a moment. Don't take a crow if you don't feel comfortable. And then vinyasa whenever you're ready. So find that jump back, lift the head. Yes, wish the mat was a little bit longer for you there. I think there are actually long yoga mats, but they're more for like really tall people, but I need one. I'm like here and then here. I need a circular one. Yeah. All right, lovely. When you're ready, right leg lifts into the sky. Warrior 2, so step the foot all the way in between the hands, pivot the back foot 90 degrees, arms out wide. Eyes towards that front middle finger and soften the shoulders. Breathe in here for 3. For 2. For 1. Extended side angle, drop the elbow to the thigh, maybe hand inside the leg, Maybe you catch the hands behind the back for a bind. If you feel comfortable in the bind, birds of paradise, step that left foot forwards and then lift that right leg up. So nice and slowly, eyes go forward. It's your choice if you want to extend the right leg. Maybe you just want to keep it there. Lovely, roll that shoulder back. Nice, push that right hip just a touch more to the left, Cheryl. Lovely. If you're up, one more breath. Come down with that bind. Step back and release. Straighten that front leg. Trikonasana. Hips go back. Reach the right arm forward and down. Left hand up to the sky. So you want heel to heel alignment. So make sure that that right heel is in perfect line with the left. Hips are in line. Shoulders want to be on that line as well. So it's like an imaginary midline on your mat. Lean the head back. Lovely. Rise up, twisted triangle. So step that left foot in. Pivot the foot 45 degrees. Left hand reaches high. And then cross it over to the right. Exhale. Left hand grounded onto the mat. Right hand up to the sky. If it's too much for right hand to the sky, keep it on the hip or the waist. If you can, straighten that right leg, but don't worry if it needs to take a little tiny bend. Lovely. For 2. For 1. High lunge, step that foot back, reach the arms up to the sky. Palms come together, take a nice big breath in. Twisted side angle, left elbow hooks nice and tight over the right thigh. Push the palms together to take the head, take the belly away. So that side. If you want to take a bind, take a bind. Yes, lovely. So keep that back knee lifted by squeezing into that back quad. 2 breaths. For 1. And release, hands to the earth. 3-leg down dog, lift the right leg up to the sky. Right knee to right armpit or Kundalini for 2 breaths. So you're either in a high plank or you're flying eyes forward. For 1, Chaturanga, take it back. Inhale up dog. And exhale, down dog. Dropping down to your knees. Give the wrists, the shoulders a nice little shimmy. So we're going to play again with that scissor kick, but on our forearm stands. If you don't feel comfortable forearm stand, you can use a wall or headstand. Either option is sweet, just whichever one you fancy. But forearm stand, traditionally, the forearms are parallel, but tradition never takes into consideration different body types. So I go in and squeeze my thumbs together. We're going to walk our feet in, just like we did before. Right leg is going to lift. Teeny tiny scissor kicks. Even if those scissor kicks are again down here, you're still playing with taking the hips over the shoulders. So nice and slow. The difference between this one and the one before is our gaze is in between our forearms. Last time we looked back. So when you're ready, let's give it a go. Doesn't matter if it's 2 inches high. Doesn't matter if you're like, oh my God, I'm foot in the floor. It's all rocket. It's all fun. Yes, get that airtime, that moment where you're like, oh yes, this is it. Where am I going to go? Squeeze the fingertips and keep that control. Lovely, yes. Nice. For 2. For 1. Amazing. So many legs in the sky. That was great. Come back to that kneeling position. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Nice and softly, just close into the eyes for 3. For 2. For 1, let it go. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Take a little pedal of the legs if you need. So left side, inhale, lift that left leg high. Warrior two, step it in between the hands, pivot the back foot, and open the arms. So sinking that leg nice and low, but make sure you can see that front big toe so it hasn't wandered off to the right. Eyes go forward. And then coming into your extended side angle. So your variation, elbow, hand to floor, or bind. So really get that shoulder underneath the leg. If you're going for the bind, it's going to be different either side. Birds of paradise if that bind is there. So step the right foot forward. If you're in that extended side angle, roll the top shoulder back. Push into that back little toe. Yes, lovely. If you're up, just take one more breath. Keep in that bind as you come down. Warrior two when you are ready. Straighten that front leg for your Trikonasana. Oh, that feels good. Reach the hand forward and then down. So left hand is going to land inside the left leg. Right hand up to the sky. If you know any other variation, obviously, by all means, go for it. And then rising all the way up, twisted triangle, step that right foot in. Right hand reaches up to the sky. Take an inhale, cross it over to the left side, exhale. Left hand reaches up. See if you can keep the hips square, but then stack that left shoulder on top of the right. And as you do in each pose, find your gaze, keep the breath in and out through the nose. That's probably the most challenging thing about the whole practice. Step the leg back, high lunge. Square off the hips, reach the arms up. Take a big breath in, palms together, twisted side angle, breath out. So hook right elbow over left thigh. Take your variation of this twist. I like to keep the hands together. If you want to go bind, maybe open the arms, whatever you did on the opposite side. Awesome. For two. For one. Drop the hands down, 3-leg down dog, lift the left leg into the sky. Left knee to left armpit, 2 breaths in a hold in your high plank or Kundinyasana. So squeeze that right elbow in for 2. For 1, Chaturanga. Moving through your vinyasa and meeting downward facing dog. Walking the hands straight away back to meet the feet. So taking a couple of forward folds. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes. Take a halfway lift to flatten the back, eyes forward. And an exhale, fold. Belly over the thighs, elbows out to the sides. Allow the head to melt down. Lifting the spine up, Padahastasana. Place the hands underneath the feet. Halfway lift to lengthen. And then exhale to fold. This is when you regret moisturizing your feet before you come to yoga. Holding it there for 2. For 1. And release the hands. Eyes to the top of the mat. You can either walk the hands forward or jump into your chaturanga. Land with bent elbows. Moving through your vinyasa. And meeting down dog. Letting the eyes go towards the top of the mat. So walk, step or jump forward. Lengthen, inhale. And fold, exhale. Sweep the arms to the sky, inhale. And hands to center, exhale. Lovely. Step out with your right leg, or you can take left, whichever one's better. Toes go in, heels go out for your wide-legged fold. So hands on the waist, big breath in, and then fold, breath out, reach the fingertips to the floor. Halfway lift to flatten the back. And then exhale, fold, but keep that nice flat back. If the head reaches the earth, optional, take a headstand, rolling onto the balls of the feet, lift the legs, keep them out nice and wide. If you're in that headstand position, think rolling onto the tips of the toes. Breathe for 3. Yeah, it feels so good for those hamstrings. Make sure you can see your fingertips in that tripod headstand. Yeah, so bring the hands just a touch further back. Yes, as long as you can see your fingertips, then you're in the right spot. Yeah, nice, lovely. Awesome, one more breath. Slowly come down, nice little hip rotation to land. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Interlace fingers behind the back. Take a breath in to lift the chest. And then exhale, dive down. So take the arms up and over. Eyes in between the legs, relax the head. See if you can shine the sit bones up and tuck the belly in so you're getting longer in the backs of the legs. And release, drop the hands straight down to the mat. Option, you can stay here in a fold, or option 2, wiggle the feet. For Carla's favorites, your middle splits. I've never seen anyone progress so much in these in my life. So wiggle the feet out to the side. We're going to hold it for about 5 or so breaths. So you might want to rock forward and backwards, because if you're like me, you can't quite find the sweet spot. Maybe hands, maybe forearms. And wherever you are, breathe in and out through the nose. Find that effort, that power, that strength, but that ease, that calmness. Hold it here. For 2. For 1. Slowly planting the hands down. Awesome. Lifting the chest. Wiggle the feet slightly in. You're going to turn around to face the back leg. Come into a low lunge. So drop your back knee. For me, it's a left. You could be the other one. Half split. So straighten that front leg. Flex the foot. Option to go full split. Slide that front leg all the way towards the back edge of your mat. You can use bricks if you've got them. Hands go underneath the shoulders. If you feel comfortable enough to take the hands away or take a twist or anything like that. Yes, and breathe. So no attachment to this pose. It's just like all the others. It's just as important as that child's pose, that cross-legged, that fold. Hold it for 2. For 1. And release. So with control, you're going to come back to the front of your mat straight away. Drop the back knee down. Half split. Flex into the left foot. Option to hold it there or slide it forward into your full split. So it's going to feel so different either side. Use bricks if you need. Maybe you find that twist. Breathe there for 3. For 2. For 1. Hands down, take a vinyasa, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Lovely, take a couple of breaths here. Just enjoy the sensation in the legs and the hips. And walking the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Come down into your noose squat. So lift the heels up, balls of the feet on the floor, knees glued together. So option 1 in this noose squat, you can take a twist. This twist is so delicious. Look over that back shoulder. Option 2, planting the hands down, come into your side crow, any variation of A with legs together, B, or if you want to go Kundinyasana, it's your choice. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Yes, nice. You've got it. I think you've got it. It's exactly the same as crow, so eyes go forward, as far forward as you can, a couple of feet in front. Yes, nice. Catherine, adapting to the wall. Lovely. I've never seen that leg position before, but we'll go with it. And come all the way down. Take a nice passive forward fold. Maybe you place the backs of the hands onto the mat just to massage the wrists. And then sway the head, sway the neck. So it's a big, big twist, this one. Drop back down to your noose squat, cross right arm over left, or just whichever side you didn't do. Find that twist, eyes to the back corner of the mat, or plant the palms, eyes go so far forward, just like you would in your crow. Yeah, so Rosie, your eyes will be over the other side of Catherine's mat, like that far forward. Yes, nice, Sarah, lovely. 1 inch lower on those shoulders and you've got it. Yes. 1 more breath. And then release. Take a nice passive forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, take it back, exhale. Lift the chest, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Walking the feet forward and then coming through to a seat. So drop down onto your sit bones, but don't get too excited. Right leg is going to come, left leg is going to come in towards the body. And then right leg is going to cradle close towards the chest. So hold it nice and tight. Really nice stretch for that right IT band. Eyes up, you can sway from left to right. Those of you who are practicing this arm balance, your 8 angle pose, catch left hand on the outside edge of that right foot. And then right hand is going to come inside that leg. So you want it as high as possible. Backpack strap the leg. Both hands go down nice and strong. Take that left foot and then it's going to cross over that right ankle. Teeny tiny lift, push the floor up and down. So you can get the bum off the floor. Take a couple of those. When you feel ready, when you've got enough momentum, lift, shoot the legs out to the side and chaturanga your arms. So eyes are going to go forward. If you ever feel like you lose it, come back. Up and down. You want to get that leg as high as you possibly can. You got the best chance to keep it up. Wherever you are, hold it for 2, for 1. And yes, a pretzel shape basically. And release. Just give the legs a little bit of a shake. Opposite side. So when you're ready, tuck that right leg in. Holding that left leg towards the chest. Give it a lovely, lovely little hug. Feels nice to cradle. And then if you're ready, go straight into it. So it's better anywhere above the elbow, but the higher that leg is, the better. Then grip the leg onto the arm. Cross opposite leg over the ankle. You got a nice contact point, squeeze the toes together. Yes, from there, Cheryl, push the hands into the earth. Lift the bum up, even if it's just up and down a couple of inches. And then you shoot chaturanga arms. So keep that leg nice and high. Squeeze the legs together. Wherever you are, you're going to hold it for 2. For 1. Yes, that's it. Nice, Dara. Lovely. That was good. When you're ready, downward facing dog. Hands to the floor. Take a pedal out of the legs. Breathe it out. Eyes go to the top of the mat. Ripple the body forward into a high plank. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Just let the chin rest on the floor. Arms beside the body. And holding it here. So a few back bends to finish off the class. First of all, interlacing the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lifts the chest, lifts the hands, and lifts the feet. If it's too much, drop the feet. Hold it there for 3. If someone's pulling your hands behind you, lifting the chest up, eyes forward for 2. For 1. And then release. Let the chin rest onto the mat. Shimmy the hips left to right. So you can either do that same variation we've just done, or bend the legs, catch the feet for your bow pose. So on your next inhale again, chest lifts, thighs lift, and push the feet into the hands. If you want a little bit more, you can squeeze the toes together. If that doesn't feel right, then keep them exactly where they are. For 2 more breaths. For 1. And release, chin back to the floor. Just let the knees, the feet sway from left to right. So our final round, you can do any of the 2 variations we've just done, or you can take bow again, but this time catch the inside edges of the feet. So it might be a little bit more on the shoulders. If you've got tight shoulders, be careful. And then big breath in, rise up, feet into the hands, think toes to the sky. And hold it there for 3. Allow the body to rock forward and back with the breath. One more breath. And release, come down, chin to the floor. Maybe sway the feet in the sky, left to right. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, push it back. Letting the gaze go towards the fingertips. Walk, step or jump through to a seated position. Roll all the way down onto your back. So we're going to take 3 back bends. It could be anything from a mini bridge to a half wheel to a full wheel. So half wheel is like full wheel, but the head stays on the floor. So it's like hands go beside the ears, little flip of the head stays on the ground. So 3 rounds. The first round, set yourself up, set your feet. And then on your next inhale, lift the hips up nice and high. If you've got a brick handy and you want to go restorative, a little bit more chilled, then absolutely, by all means, take that variation. Your position with the hands, the feet, depending on how tight the shoulders might be, the spine. 1 more breath. And release. So try not to squeeze the thighs to the belly, but just let them rock left to right, because you've got 2 more on the way. When you're ready, set the feet. Inhale, push the floor away, rise in up. Yeah, maybe you adjust the feet. If it's too much for the neck, if you feel like you're cranking the head to look in between the thumbs, then look back. Just let the head be a natural extension of the spine. This is more for shoulders, spine, and hip flexors than anything else. Awesome, release, calm it down. Let the knees again sway left to right. So our final round. Anybody who feels comfortable in a full wheel wants to drop their elbows and forearms down into that variation of a back bend, by all means. So from your full wheel, so it's like you take a little bend into the elbows. One will go down, the other will go down slightly. You got to wiggle the fingers. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. Okay, so when you're ready, your last round, little wiggle of one hand, little wiggle of the other. Doesn't need to be full drop of the forearm straight away. Yes. For 2. Nice, Cheryl, lovely. For 1. Awesome, Catherine. Release, come down. Squeeze the thighs into the belly. Let them rock left to right. And then gently rock up and down on the mat. So use that floor to massage the spine. Take 3 or 4 rolls. And then come into a seated forward fold. Straighten the legs out, Paschimottanasana. Arms reach up, inhale. And then fold, catch hold of the outside edges of the feet. If that's not accessible, maybe shins or just by the knees. And then relax the head. And then rising up, cross the legs, plant the palms, shoot back into a vinyasa or go straight into your down dog. Lifting the right leg into the sky. One-legged pigeon, so step the right knee to the right wrist and then untuck the back toes. So it's up to you what angle you have the shin on. It's totally personal preference, but I like to roll my calf out of the way so I've got a little bit more space. Holding this first variation upright. So it could be both hands on the floor, maybe both arms reach up. If that's too intense, then take one hand up, one hand on the mat. And if you feel comfortable, you might want to close the eyes. And release. Drop down into your sleeping swan. So extend the arms out in front. Drop the belly towards that right leg and then let the forehead rest either on the hands or the mat. So you've got the option to stay in this beautiful sleeping swan. Or if you want one last little push, you can work the hands all the way back up, playing with our bind. So bend into our back leg, catch it with our left hand. If you feel like you can go further, maybe catch it into the elbow crease. Maybe those of you who can go full mermaid bind, catch it with the fingers. Your variation of this bind. And you're going to hold it there for 5 breaths. Doesn't matter how high the hips have to come. Find a pose that you can hold for the full time. Lovely. Nice. For 2. For 1. Release. Lifting the chest if you're not already. Swing that left leg around for a twist. So plant the sole of the foot just in front of that right ankle. Right hand reaches up. We're going to twist to the left. And then exhale, cross the elbow over that left thigh. 5 breaths here. So inhale in to straighten the spine, lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale to twist. Keeping that knee fighting back. So push the knee over to the left. Because as much as it wants to go over to the right, you want to keep it through center. Lovely. And then release. So you got a couple of options here. You can step back into a vinyasa, take a down dog. You can cross the legs into a headstand and practice that tripod jump back again. Or if anybody wants to go kundinyasana jump back, that's also another option. You got about 5 or so breaths. If you want to skip it all, you're like, nope, down dog it is. Just go straight into your down dog. When you jump back from that tripod, remember, lift the head, eyes forward, find chaturanga. We'll all meet there in 3, In 2, yes, lift the head. It's coordination, it's one of those things, isn't it? For 1, awesome, down dog. Left leg lifts up into the sky. One-legged pigeon, step it through, knee to left wrist. So the first few breaths, again, stay upright. Maybe you lift the hands and it's going to feel different side to side. So maybe it's just one hand on this side. Maybe close the eyes. And then release, drop the hands down, sleeping swan, reach the arms forward, forehead rests. Walking the hands all the way back up. If you want to stay down, stay down. Practicing with your mermaid bind. So bend the back leg, hand to foot or elbow crease to the foot. Maybe you can bind the hands behind the head. Eyes go forward. Yeah, it's going to feel so different. Make sure that left knee is slightly over to the edge than the hip. So it's a little further out. Hold it for 2. Beautiful. Awesome, ladies. For 1. And release. Swing the right leg around. Plant the sole of the foot on the floor. Left hand reaches up. Big breath in. Cross it over. Find your twist. Breath out. 5 breaths here. Inhale into lengthen. And exhale into twist. And then release. Make your way through a vinyasa. However you want to get there, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. We'll meet there in 2. In 1. Eyes go towards the top. Step or jump the feet through to a seat. Rolling all the way down onto your back. So we're finishing with a shoulder stand. Option to lift the legs up 90 degrees and hold it there if you don't want to do a shoulder stand. But if you're with me, then lift the hips up in line with the shoulders. You want ankles, knees, hips and shoulders in line and wiggle the elbows together. You'll feel a slight restriction on the throat, on the breath, but yoga is all about getting comfortable with these very uncomfortable positions that we put our body in. Taking it into plow pose next. So take the feet up overhead, drop the tops of the feet onto the floor and then interlace the fingers behind the back if that feels comfy. Let the pinky finger drop down towards the floor. If that's not accessible, don't worry. Transition into your deaf man's pose. So knees by the ears, bend the legs. Place hands on the calves. So it's like you're in a really small, tight package. Don't worry if the feet are hovering, the knees are hovering. Take 1 more breath. And then slowly coming up back through your shoulder stand. Make a diamond position with the legs. Soles the feet together, knees out to the sides. You can stay there, hands on the back, or option take the hands away from the back, reach the hands to the knees. So your full shoulder balance in position. Breathe in here for 3. For 2. For 1. And release. Come down, counterbalance it with your fish pose. So lift the spine, crown of the head onto the mat, eyes to the back. So every part of your back is off the mat. Squeeze the elbows in, push the chest high. If you want to go into fish pose B, if you prefer fish pose B, lift the feet, lift the hands, point them to the top corner of the room. And then release. Squeeze the thighs in towards the belly. So I'm going to give you a minute to take any final postures that you need to finish, to seal the deal, whatever you want to call it, your rocket practice. It could be anything from a child's pose to a handstand, to the splits, to another back bend. Yoga is so much a personal practice. Probably not one person in this room will want to do the same thing. So just honor your body, go with whatever it is you want to go with. Have a play, get it out of the system, use the energy, flex the body, relax the mind. What is it that you want? Yes, Rebecca, that was lush. I'll let you know about halfway through if you wanted to change the variation or do something on the opposite side. Yeah, spread the fingertips just a touch wider. Nice. Halfway through, if you want to mix it up, I'll go on to the opposite side. Lovely. All right, the door's there. That's what it's there for. Nice, lovely. Yeah, squeeze those fingertips, tips. And release. Finding your way into your Shavasana. So roll all the way down onto your back. Extend the legs, extend the arms beside the body. Take in the most well-deserved breath in. And big sigh out. Take another one if you need. And let it go. So our final pose of the class, this time where we let everything settle in. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. There's no worry that we did anything wrong or we didn't do things the way we wanted. It's just appreciation of what our body has just done. The emotional roller coaster that is rocket. And this is how it makes us feel. Super slowly start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Reaching the arms up overhead, take a full body stretch. Squeezing the thighs in towards the belly, lift the head towards the knees. And then slowly, in your own way, come into a seated position at the front of your mat. Keeping the eyes closed, letting the hands fall wherever they feel most natural. We'll take one final cleansing breath together. Nice inhalation through the nose and big exhalation out of the mouth. Bringing the hands together towards the heart center in honor and gratitude of our own body, but also for everybody that we have practiced with tonight. You're all incredible. Namaste. Namaste.